play, skill, balance, you name it, the whole lot. India's bowlers have toiled and toiled hard. Bumrah the most successful so far, 2 for 66. Ishant has been worth perhaps a little bit more than that in the wickets column anyway. Ashwin with 1 for 114 has provided a threat. Nadeem and Washington Sundar have found the going particularly tough on this unforgiving Chepauk Stadium pitch. One thing's for sure, Joe Root has looked as fresh this morning, or as fresh this evening, as he has at any point during the day. Doesn't seem to be in any mood to give his wicket away.
"19 fours and 2 sixes for Joe Root, and it's a fantastic spread. There's a good clear all around the park. See the red lines, 2 of them on the leg side, massive sixes, and not to forget the ones in yellow and white, the 1s and 2s to rotate strike.
Yeah, and what a way to go to a test match double century. Just pop down out of the crease and bang it over the man at long on for 6. He's not afforded himself too many luxuries in this innings. It has been a study in self-control, wanting to build a platform, to build a total in the first innings from which England can control this contest and perhaps even control the series.
And now from that perspective, this session becomes very, very important. What is the England camp thinking from here on? 454 for 4. Are they planning to get some quick runs here now and declare, maybe giving India a chance to bat last hour or so? Still got someone like Josh Butler yet to come.
Now, that's my feeling. England will still be thinking that the surface is pretty good. You know, unless you're hitting the rough marks, there's not much happening. And that if we're going to control the game, they'll also have memories of the previous match 4 or 5 years ago, where they made 477 and lost the game comfortably. So England will be thinking about nothing more than batting, pouring on the misery, making India take a second new ball, and try to wear out the pitch and wear out the legs and minds of the Indian team.
You're talking about getting the Indians tired for the series, rest of the series, because it's going to take a double collapse, and in this heat and humidity, even if India have one collapse, less likely to ask them to follow on. If they keep batting all the time. You're saying they might bat tomorrow as well?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, look, if you look at the way that this series was looked at from the start, India come back conquering heroes from winning in Australia. They haven't lost more than 3 test matches at home in a decade. They're roaring favourites, aren't they? So even if England come away from here with a draw or push England close for a victory, the tables have already turned in terms of how the series is perceived.
Fair enough. I mean, if they do really want to go on and bat even on day 3, I don't think India would be too worried about that then. As you mentioned, LS, are you talking about 20 wickets failing or in 2 innings? It's just, I don't know, just maybe they might be thinking on those lines. We'll just figure that out, I guess, in the next half an hour or so. We will get the signs what the English camp is thinking on what lines.
Come on, Mark. World Test Championship, England need to qualify. They need to win 3.
England need to win 3, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not talking about them batting tomorrow because they want to draw the game. I'm talking about trying to give themselves the best chance of winning this first test match on a very, very flat surface. And look, England last night scored 124 in the last session of the day, right? Say they do 70. They're not 600 that Joe Root was talking about. like you say, we'll find out in the next 40 minutes or so what England's intentions are, but I think that they're probably just going to keep on batting, keep grinding away for the moment.
Nicely timed, once again in the gap. Enough time to pick up 2. The run machine keeps going on and on and on. The rotational strike, brilliant. As you can see, 90 singles. It's a lightning quick outfield. That's why I find the 1-3.
Going back to what you mentioned about the perception as far as this series is concerned, I think most of the people really, obviously India would be firm favourites, but it was always going to be a competitive one, especially after how England played in Sri Lanka.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because, you know, what I read and the comments that I was hearing, that people were saying, well, Sri Lanka are terrible. You can't judge anything on what happened there. Joe Root has gone past Dean Jones. That infamous, famous knock of Dean Jones, who's sadly no longer with us. He made that double century here in 1986 with suffering from dehydration. Joe Root's now the top dog.
Dino was in September. Dino got a double hundred in September when it was very, very hot. And it was a tight test. Now we're just out of a so-called winter in Chennai. 1.5 months of winter.
Oh dear. What we'd give for winters like this back in the UK. Just another query about the ball. India trying their best to get their hands on something a bit more favourable. Once again, you can see what this abrasive surface here in Chennai does to the seam. It rips it to shreds.
I mean, the seam is all gone.
The other thing, a challenge for the Indian bat, especially someone like Shubman Gill, is to come out and bat after fielding for 150 plus overs. And he's not just fielding, he's there in close-in fielder, one of the close-in fielders, so he's been squatting up and down most part of those 150 plus overs. I think especially for someone like him as an opener, you would actually love that break, isn't it? You wouldn't want to bat last 40 odd minutes end of day.
That single, Joe Root will keep strike. 458 for 4. This partnership worth 71. Pope has contributed 24. Joe Root has been the major contributor in this partnership. Doesn't happen too often, these kind of numbers for Ashwin, especially in India. 41 overs, just the 1 wicket.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another big feather in the cap of England. Ashwin, with that terrific record at home, has been kept at bay. Struggled a bit with injury, hasn't he? He's had a bad back, making him bowl a lot of overs. The test matches are back-to-back. There's a 3-day gap between this one and the next one. You know, these matches and series, yes, we're watching a 5-day game that's happening right now, and the result of it's very important. But what happens in this one also affects what happens in the next, and the next, and the next. So imagine England do carry on batting tomorrow, I don't know, say for 40 minutes or something. They've got a number in mind, they don't quite get there tonight. They send India back out in the field again tomorrow. Ashwin racks up another 20 overs or so. And England are giving their very inexperienced spin bowling attack a mountain of runs in front of them. It's not like they've got Swan and Monty Panesar in, who are both experienced, both got a number of test match wickets under their belt. But Joe Root knows the limitations perhaps of his attack in these conditions.
Also the surface, it's only going to deteriorate, right? So there'll be more wear and tear, maybe an hour tomorrow first session, or maybe more or less, because it will be rolled tomorrow morning. So first half an hour, 45 minutes should play really well, and then it'll start deteriorating again day 3. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Have the roller option as well tomorrow if England continue to bat. We'll talk about more in the next over. 4:59 for 4. Never tired of batting. Joe Root. Really tiring for all the bowlers. And like you mentioned, the wear and tear on the pitch is going to get even more as there's more traffic on the pitch. Ishant coming back into the side, looked a little rusty. Bumrah's worked hard. Ashwin's had a long spell. It's the support bowlers who haven't done the job. Nadeem and Washington Sundar.
What's your opinion on the Kuldeep scenario, LS?
It's a boundary. Kuldeep, I think, didn't play in Australia, hasn't played for a while. He's even out of the Knight Riders side. Maybe low in confidence. But he would be kept as a surprise weapon for this series. But you never know what plans do they have. It's all a state of mind, isn't it? Skill sets you possess. That's why you come up to this level of the game.
What would you do? What would you're our expert on spin bowling. You're a selector. Would you have picked him, or would you look to be picking him in this series?
Well, that's why I don't want to be a selector.
Come on, get that fence out from underneath you.
Well, looking at this game, I mean, this is after the event is over. I mean, you see, Nadeem hasn't really bowled well, but it's done really well in domestic cricket. But you'd prefer to have somebody like a Kuldeep in Shahbaz Nadeem's place. That's for sure.
Now, would have gone with Kuldeep, but you do understand why they've got Nadeem there, because I personally believe they wanted to attack with the 3 bowlers, Ashwin, Bumrah and Ishant, and they wanted someone to give them a little more control, the captain a little more control, which unfortunately Nadeem did not bring to the table. I'm sure he would be the defensive option, keeping it tight from one end. Then you have that option of attacking shorter spells with Ashwin. I'm sure if Nadeem and Washington Sundar had bowled better, then Ashwin wouldn't have to bowl 40, 42 overs and longer spells. He might have to bowl shorter spells and could be more attacking with his lines. So I think, personally, I believe that was the thought process behind getting someone like Nadeem in. But yeah, as a wicket-taking option, you definitely would prefer someone like Kuldeep Yadav.
I think the biggest surprise is that of the pitch. I think everybody expected the pitch to do a lot more than what it's done. They expected the ball to turn square, and it hasn't happened.
As yet.
As yet, yeah. The reserve players like Mayank Agarwal, opening batsman, Kuldeep, Siraj unlucky to miss out. And Rahul Chehe is more of a wide ball bowler, leg spinner. Look, something interesting in the next over, Butch. 465 for 4. No sign of declaration. That man padded up. Yes, you'll get some entertainment if Butler gets out in the centre. But every time England came to India in the past, Indian captain would be looking around for a right-arm leg spinner. But now you find a lot of leg spinners. Probably each IPL team has 2 leg spinners. But those leg spinners haven't gone on to play the 4-day game, which is Ranji Trophy in India, and haven't done well in the longer formats. They are more dependent on batsmen who are trying to play the big shots in irregular intervals and make the mistake. And the leg spinners don't develop into trying to get the batsman out. Some miscue. Rishabh Pant did not know where the ball had gone. Rishabh Pant was going somewhere else and the ball elsewhere.
He's having some fun here now, Rishabh. He's lucky there, but look at Rishabh. But the best part is, it's not just Rishabh, it's Oli Pope actually reacting to what Rishabh did.
This will give you an idea of Rishabh Pant.
Just shock all round, wasn't there? Pope not expecting that sort of delivery from a bowler like Ashwin. Had no idea where the ball had gone. Rishabh, I don't know whether Rishabh was just trying to have Ollie Pope on, or whether he didn't know where it was either.
469 for 4. $63 for 2, then a partnership for 200, backed up by a partnership for 124. And the current partnership 82, got England into a very, very commanding position.
ऊपर वाले सिंगल रोकना भाई सारे बूम थोड़ा सा सीधा
Shabazz Nadeem into the attack again.
रोकी
54 overs, Shabazz Nadeem and Washington Sundar bowling together. Just the 4 maiden overs. Just the 4 maiden overs, which means right through their spares they haven't been able to control things.
Yeah, I mean, that has been an issue. England thinking about how best to go about winning a test match, winning a series, and this is what they're playing for. ATM trophy. Beautiful piece of silverware. The added bonus of placing the World Test Championship for the team that carries it off at the right margin.
Yeah.
Joe Root during the course of this innings becomes the 3rd highest run getter for England. Cook, Gooch and Joe Root.
It's extraordinary, really. Joe Root in the last 3 tests has knocked off David Gower, Kevin Peterson, now Alex Stewart, Jeff Boycott, I think, as well. Just all in the course of the last 3 test matches. It's gone past all of those great names of English cricket in terms of leading run scorers.
He's also scored more than 600 runs in the last 3 test matches.
We certainly will go past Graham Gooch pretty soon. 8,900 for Graham Gooch. Alistair Cook is a long way away. 472 for 4. – 152 overs. So far, 28 overs still remaining today.
I was talking with Kartik next door about the longest periods of time spent in the field. I'm guessing that you two gentlemen would have had a few long innings. Mine was fielding to Brian Lara, making 400 at the Antigua Recreation Ground back in 2004. 2 3/4 days.
Yeah.
You got any longer ones than that?
Well, Test cricket, no. Test cricket, I think, was 120 or 130 odd overs. But first class cricket, yeah, closer to 200 odd overs. So the 3 new balls taken. By the time the time came for the 3rd new ball, I was the captain then. Oh, that close. That is close. No, that's not close. That's out, actually. Is he going to go for it? And look plumb.
Yeah, unless Ollie Pope's hit that, I think he needs to keep walking. It was a scratchy return to the team for Ollie Pope. Never really found any sort of fluency or timing. He's been out of the game since the back end of the last English summer with those shoulder operations. Never really found his touch out there. And Ashwin has snuck one through him. Stone dead.
expected the ball to turn. Played down the wrong line. Crashed into middle and leg. No problems with that. Another very good decision by the umpire. 34 for Oli Pope, 473 for 5.
Come on, boy.
Center. Off.
Pope, the man dismissed. Butler comes out to bat. This approach could give us an indication of the mindset of England, what they're going to do tonight. They're going to bowl at all.
Yeah, maybe, although Josh Butler tends to be aggressive in most circumstances. A chance for India to attack here. Got to think about wrapping up the England innings, not waiting for a declaration. Butler's in, and there are men crowded around the bat. Short leg slip. So India sense a chance to attack.
Oh, nicely tossed up, almost carried. Shubman Gill, the fielder.
Not the easiest of surfaces to drive. That too against the turn. Especially when he walked out.
I think it was a natural variation that got the wicket of Oli Pope. Same position was meant to turn, but just go straight on. Rewarded for a marathon spell.
Yeah, Oli Pope just deceived a little bit for length, got caught half and half. Ball revolving, hitting the shiny side. Something that Ashwin is more than capable of doing on purpose. And he thoroughly deserved the wicket. 474 for 5.
लेट के मारता है
Skipper being the star of the show. Contributions from Sibley and Stokes. India is still working hard against a strong England batting lineup. Just put up a brilliant performance.
चलो
Looks like it's going to be the grind.
तेरे पास जोर से मारेगा शुभी है ऐसे करके तेज मारता है ध्यान रखियो
Should have been on the front foot there, Butler.
He's been batting at number 6 for England in the lineup. England have got the extra batsman in Ollie Pope at number 6, so Butler's down at 7. This will be Josh Butler's only test match of the series. He's heading back to the UK for his turn at rotation in the midst of England's extraordinarily busy international calendar in 2021.
शुभी गैप मत जाने दियो भाई लेफ्ट से
17 test matches, which includes Ashes end of the year and obviously the T20 World Cup.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. It's a heck of a lot of cricket.
थोड़ा सा
I mean, England tend to play more test matches than most anyway in a calendar year, but this one is exceptional.
बस बस
His 50th match, received a cap from Joe Root. Joe Root received a silver cap from chairman of selectors Ed Smith before the start of the game. So both good mates, achieving milestones in the same test match at the beginning of this series. Here's Joe Root giving an impassioned speech. We weren't able to get close enough to hear exactly what he said, but doubtless it would have been glowing in terms of his admiration for Josh Butler.
इजी विराट भी चलो 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 थोड़ा माहौल बनाओ चलो चलो यार शाबाश
Big moment, playing a 50th test match, playing a 100th. And 100th for Joe Root has been memorable. Big appeal, and he's given him. He's taken the review straight away and reckons with a missed leg stump.
Well, I thought Joe Root went straight away for the review, and I thought that was because he thought he'd inside edged it. But you're right.
Third umpire to
LS.
director,
His
play review for
motion was going down.
Original decision is out. It's a fair delivery. Spin vision, please. Nice and slow. Yeah, ball passing very close to the bat. Can we have alterates, please? Roll it nice and slow. Roll it forward. Still up to the bats, please. Yeah, flat line when the ball passes the bat. Ball tracking, please. Pitching in line, impact in line. Wickets hitting. On-field umpire on screen, please. Nitin, stay with the original decision. You're on screen. Give out, please.
Just straightened a little bit and kept low as well. But a fantastic innings. An outstanding innings, one to remember for a long, long time. Short of 9 hours. Joe Root, mammoth innings comes to an end. 477 for 6.
Right, a bit of hope for India. A couple of quick wickets. So two new faces at the crease, Bess and Butler. Not a huge amount of turn, but enough purchase off the surface. Joe Root says straight away it's going to miss leg stump, and he wasn't quite right. He hasn't missed much throughout this innings. But just a couple of moments to lift the spirits of India, who've been dragging their heels for the last day and a half. Just enough. Nice moment, lovely moment. I've been chatting actually quite a lot throughout this innings. Virat Kohli and England's captain, two terrific batsmen. Virat Kohli would have been in admiration of what he saw throughout the innings. Desperate to get him out, of course, but admiring the way that he's played, not just in this innings, but in the last few weeks or so. A couple of double hundreds and a big 100. Lovely to see that, wasn't it? See Virat Kohli just go up and tap him on the shoulder and say, yeah, I really enjoyed, well, not enjoyed it, but really admired the way that you played.
Yeah, and you've got to show that respect for your opponent. Like you said, I think they have been chatting throughout the course of this innings a few times. Tom Bess is the new batsman. 18 test matches for him. He's got a 50 in that. .478 for 6.
So just Archer, Leach and Anderson to come. So England deciding to go with two spinners. That looks a wise decision with having won the toss and the pitch beginning to wear. So no Stuart Broad. 500 test match wickets sitting on the sidelines. Not an overly attacking field. Understandable at 478 for 6, but an opportunity now for Kohli. Josh Butler playing in his one and only test match of this series. He goes home after this.
It'll be interesting to see how Josh Butler goes now, because got an attacking instinct naturally. Also, there was a bit of urgency when Joe Root and Ollie Pope were batting. Two quick wickets. England in a good situation. Josh Butler can be lethal if he wants to get going. But again, it's the mindset. It's what the team plan is. Tom Bess can definitely bat. So it'll be interesting how he goes about his innings now.
Well, I'd be surprised if there's been any chat to Josh Butler at all. Just keep playing. I think they're going to try and bat for as long as they possibly can. Not sure they'll be talking about runs scored in a certain amount of time. Bat the day and then let's have another go tomorrow. I think that's what they'll be chatting about, however long it takes. Big first inning score. Route 1 cricket. Try and bowl them out twice.
Yeah, the pitch gets used as well. The longer they bat. Started to see a little bit more help for the bowlers. Still quite easy paced. But clearly they'll want to get as many as they can.
So the only thing with batting too long is that even if you get into a position to enforce the follow on, can you, in all the heat and humidity? Oh, good delivery, good delivery. Beat him on the inside, beat Rishabh Pant as well. A 481 for 6.
आपको लग रहा सीधा सीधा ही आया अच्छे से तो भाई आउटसाइड एज के लिए खड़ा होता है बंदा इनसाइड एज के लिए तो उगला खड़ी साइड हमने तो सारी बॉल पड़ती है वो तो है ही नहीं एक्सक्यूज थोड़ी ना भैया वो रननी तो सारी है
अंदर ही रखेंगे वो ये नहीं मारता है
Right, Ashwin to continue. A couple of wickets. He's bowled 45 overs to get those 2 wickets. Still not a huge amount of turn though in the surface. Rishabh Pant.
Still got the energy. What, 156 overs in, and you need someone. It's been a long couple of days for India.
They always say wicket keepers are characters, and we have one in the com box. Yeah, but Josh Butler is different. He's a keeper himself. He doesn't do these kind of things. But yes, it's been entertaining listening to Rishabh Pant.
Even from India's perspective at this point, out of nowhere really, they've got a couple of quick wickets. So can put a bit more pressure on England, try and keep them down to as little as they can.
Just a little bit more turn now. Those that looked at the pitch this morning, there were just 1 or 2 patches, that was all. The guts of the wicket's still very very good and held together, not many cracks, but just beginning now. That was the dismissal of Ollie Pope. I thought this was a terrific bit of bowling. You might think there that he's just missed a straight one, but again, look at the release. The release is the one that is going to go straight on. That's not the off spinner. That is the one that's going to go. Well, that's another delivery, but we're going to show it in a minute. Already 2 for 6.
चलो
Yeah, in no hurry for now. Just try and rebuild the partnership. Just have a look at the Ollie Pope this way. Look at the release there. Now, I don't think that's an off spinner. I think there he's trying to get his fingers round the ball and he's hoping that that's going to go straight on, hit the seam and go straight on. We'll show that's a slight variation. I'll try and highlight it. So the normal off spinner's release, you can see the seam position is crucial, and it goes that way round itself and then bounces and goes like an off spinner. What he does is just look at the seam, he rotates it slightly so it's now straight on, and therefore it rotates around itself and goes straight, and the hope is that it's not going to turn and it's going to go skidding on, and that's exactly what happened with the dismissal of Ollie Pope. So again, you might look at this and say we just missed a straight ball, but I think you've got to give a lot of credit just to the skill of Ashwin. I think he's setting him up here, and in the end, it's just too good at the moment for Ollie Pope. And we've seen that a little bit throughout the Test match series so far, yesterday and today. Just subtle variations from Ashwin. It's what makes him arguably the best off spinner in the world. And he'll be looking at that now and thinking, yeah, I played for the off spinner and he wasn't the off spinner.
I mean, it's the little variations, isn't it? Such a placid pitch. Don't pick things out of a bowler's hand. It's only that fraction of a second that you need to beat the batsman.
Trying to use his feet. Already 5 for 6. So attacking field now, leg gully in the game with the ball turning back into the right-hander.
If you're an Indian batsman, I think you'll still be happy that there's not much that's happening from between the wickets. Anything straight, there's only an odd one that perhaps misbehaves a little bit, but otherwise it's still quite easy paced and not a lot of turn. It's only the rough areas that you're getting a little bit more turn every now and then.
Yeah, the crucial bit is the pace at which it spins, because if it spins slowly, any batsman can adjust. And right now the odd one, whichever has misbehaved slowly, and that's where I think as an Indian batting lineup you're thinking, okay, it has deteriorated, but it's not as if that we can't negotiate.
At least what those 2 wickets have done is slowed down the scoring for England. Four, 8, 5 for 6.
Well, he's pretty animated. The team are pretty animated as well with those 2 wickets, and of course the dismissal of Joe Root. It's just injected a little bit of life into Virat Kohli and his team. There's a little bit more chatter out there now. Man at slip, man at leg gully. Let's call it leg gully, more short leg I suppose, but round the corner leg side. So both edges catered for, outside and inside. Well, he's going to have a huge role to play in the remainder of this game with his off-spin, Dom Bess. Just get used to conditions out there now with the bat. And no mug with the bat as well, more than useful. Any runs he can add now.
Absolutely, the more time he spends there in the middle, he knows what sort of areas that you need to bowl.
Good leave. Good leave, just. I guess also the longer he's out there, the more familiar he gets with conditions, and he'll face a lot of spin whilst he's out there, so he just gets a clue as to what speeds he needs to bowl. Nearly. Things just beginning to happen a bit more now for India.
Well tossed up, just that extra bounce, but again that slowness of the surface allowing the batsman to adjust and the ball going down. So many times you see as a bowler that you've beaten the batsman in the air only for him make sure that the ball goes down, and that's exactly what's happened on the surface. Every time you beat the batsman, every time there's been something which has been a semblance of bounce, the bat pad or any of those shots aren't going to carry. 485 for 6.
One more over, one more.
.485 for 6. Ravichandran Ashwin. That's just glorious. Had enough room, had enough time, and Josh Butler equal to the task.
It did bounce a little bit, but just so much power behind it. Again, nicely tossed up. Uses the bounce, and there's no fielder in the cover. Even though it's in the air, just needed to pick the gap up. England batsmen have done that well throughout this innings. Just going back in the crease every opportunity there was.
Short again, and there was a cry of no, and that was Ashwin saying, I've dragged it down again. And Josh Butler, in the form that he's in, and the player that he is now in Test match cricket, won't miss out.
Yeah, this one he wasn't happy with. You're right, as soon as he let that ball go, he wasn't happy. The previous one gave himself a bit of room, but here he didn't have to do anything, just get bat to ball. It is a tired attack. You will get a few loose balls if you hang in there.
But again, I think you were on with me when we were talking about Ollie Pope and the way England look to play spin now. Just have a look at Josh Butler, how much he dips as he's at the dip in the stair. Goes right down, trying to get underneath the eye line or underneath the ball, get the eye line underneath. They feel with a wide base that's a better way of playing spin in order to pick up the length of the ball. Look how much he dips here. There. And that really is to try and help them pick length. Something that, as I say, in the last stint I did, Duncan Fletcher talked about that in the mid-90s with us. And Marcus Trescothick was very keen to take that on and felt that had a big influence on the way he played spin. Or 93 for 6. Well, the third new ball is available right now, but they've decided not to take it.
Yeah, it makes sense as well at this point. I think newer, harder ball might just be easier to score off as well. Apart from the last over where a couple of boundaries were scored, the scoring has been, the English batsmen have been fairly quiet.
You're talking about Ashwin and what Ashwin has done over the years. He's somebody who's never been averse to trying different things. And this is onto your left is his action in 2016, and onto the right is the way he's currently bowling. And even in this, he's done quite a few things to tweak. And when you speak to somebody like him, what he's always trying to get is a lot more body into it, because there's always been this constant criticism that he's more of a hand bowler rather than a body bowler. And he's always said that even I'm trying to figure out how to get more of my body into it. And that happens with the way you gather. And onto your right, what he's trying to do is get into a stronger position, which actually brings down or shortens his delivery stride, allowing him to pivot over the ball and allow that body to go forwards. And also, he's somebody who's not exactly side on as a bowler, so he's always been a mixed action. And with mixed actions also, when you're trying to get the ball to go outside the off stump, it's never easy. The one to your left, the ball is always going to come in. It's always going to be straightish. Whereas right now you can also see that it's slightly round arm, which allows you to turn around your hip. And also the delivery stride has shortened a lot more. It's all about the gather. It's all about the loading up. It's 495 for 6.
Well, approaching 50 overs in the innings for Ashwin. 48. A couple of wickets. Had to work incredibly hard for those 2 wickets. He was gifted one early in the piece with the reverse sweep, but apart from that, he's had to work exceptionally hard on a pitch that's done very little for him.
And in continuation of what we're trying to talk about is, you look at the way he's loaded up to the right. His hands are in the perfect position, very close to where the India logo is, facing the chest as well. So you're in a much stronger position. And then you look at, when you draw that vertical line, to your left, it's right above his head, which means that the way he releases or the way his body motion goes, it's always towards the stumps. Whereas the one onto your right, that's the current action. It's a lot more slightly away from his ears, which is not a problem. Most of the great bowlers had their bowling actions or bowling arms not exactly above your head, but slightly away from your ear.
You know, looking at that, it might well be exactly the same transition in his technique as Dom Bess. Actually, when we see Dom Bess bowl in this innings, you'll see a little bit like 216 with Ashwin. Very high release, almost over the ear and the head. So it'll be interesting to see whether he then develops a slightly more round arm, but we'll maybe make that comparison a little later on in the game. Adventurous. Length was the key there. 495 for 6. Nadeem to continue, a couple of wickets to his name. That's the other point of difference, really. When you look at the modern game, I mean, I was watching the guys warm up today at whatever time it was, 8:30, 9 o'clock. And you've got Jeetan Patel. Jeetan Patel is the spin coach at the moment for this designated tour. Now he's working specifically with Leach and Bess. So his morning's work is with spinners. Bit of aggression. You go back over the years when we played, you'd have a bowling coach who was probably a seam bowling coach and a batting coach, and that was it. So the poor spinners had to sort of find their own way and work their own way. Now in the modern game, you've got someone like Jeetan Patel who travels as a specific spin bowling coach.
I think it is a requirement of the modern game, because as you rightly said, a fast bowling coach might have great knowledge about the fast bowling aspect of it. And then the spin bowling coach who's done it all his life, it's not about dissecting your technique sometimes, Nick. It can also be about just discussing tactics. What are the things which you can see from outside? It's not just about telling them, oh, that your arm is not going this way or your leg is not going that way. It's just talking tactics. Sometimes, possibly, as a spin bowling coach, you observe a few things, that you're rushing through certain things. You can try this, you can try that. Keeping with the team's plans, I think in conjunction with the team's plans. It's all about that. And during your downtime, during your practice time, you can tinker with your technique. But during match time, there are so many other aspects to a spin bowling coach as well. I'm not vying for a spin bowling coach spot, by the way. I'm not vying for a spot. I'm just talking about the benefits of it.
496 for 6.
एक शॉट मिड विकेट कैचिंग पुंजी ऐश ऊपर है ना बॉलिंग टीम राइट ओवर फर्स्ट मूव सेंटर रेडी
Washington Sundar then into the attack. Ashwin is bowled at 1 shy of 50, so deserves a break. Sundar just the 19. So the summary of what you were saying, Murali, is you're putting yourself up for left arm spin bowling coach. We've got an off spin bowling coach in Jeetan Patel.
Ooh la la. No, the long and short of it is, I am talking about the benefits of a spin bowling coach for a team, but I have not put my hat in the ring. That's the long and short of it.
Getting ultra specific. We've got a left arm spin coach and an off spinning coach. I mean, they've got a keeping coach, and all that sort of bases and angles are covered now, and rightly so too. Greater resources in the game.
Yeah, but sometimes I do wonder, like, you have John Lewis here and Chris Silverwood, both of them were seamers. So do you need an extra seam bowling coach? Because Silverwood himself was a top draw bowler and he was an assistant coach. So sometimes you do wonder with the support staff. I can understand if you have a fast bowling coach but you don't have a spin bowling coach. But if a spinner is also a coach, he can definitely help you.
I think it's the case with most teams, isn't it? I think there's always a head coach who sort of overlooks everything. And then specific areas are addressed to different coaches. It's a big touring party these days. But you're right, I think maybe there's a lot more emphasis that needs to be given with having a spin bowling coach around, or someone who consults on a regular basis, especially with so many young spinners coming through at the moment.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. They're pleading with the umpire. Both the wicket-keeper, bowler, they are pleading.
Don't have a review left. There wasn't a single fielder on the pitch who wasn't sure about it. Washington Sundar's toiled. It's still on his haunches.
Well, they're pleading, absolutely pleading with the umpire. Rishabh Pant went straight up. Washington Sundar went straight up, and they cannot believe that that has not been given out. Beautiful shot, found the gap. Just to rub a bit of salt into the wounds.
Yeah, I mean, you can just see the body language now. Felt like they'd got a wicket. 500 up for England. As to over pitches that one, and that's the third one that Butler's hit through the offside. Just times it beautifully. Could have been out the previous ball. Punishes him the next one. 5-0-1 for 6. And we'll take drinks at this point.
The last hour and maybe a bit more left of day 2. This is where England is placed very comfortably, though. 501 for 6. Superb knock again from the English captain Joe Root. 5th double 100 in his Test career, 218. A strokeful Stokes innings of 82. Oli Pope come back after a while, and a useful 34. It's Josh Butler and Tom Bess out there right now, and their partnership is worth 24. Again, going back on day 1, it was a partnership between Joe Root and Tom Sibley of 200 runs, set it up beautifully for England. Wickets this session. Oli Pope come back after that shoulder injury and operation. Couldn't read the straighter one from Ashwin. Beaten, playing for the spin, but what's a straighter one? It was Joe Root, the double centurion. Went for TRS, went for a review straight away, but that one was hitting leg stump. Nadeem picking a very, very important wicket of Joe Root, and what a knock he's played. Well, a couple of wickets each for Bumrah, Ashwin and Nadeem, and that's where it stands. 501 for 6. England in their first innings. "15 more overs to go on day 2. This last hour will begin with a Nadeem over. It's looked a different surface, this one, with 2 new batsmen comparatively. There's a big appeal, massive appeal caught behind. Was there a sound? Yes, there was. It's in the air. Land safely over Ishan's head and will go all the way to the boundary. Intentions clear there.
Yes, there's no point just poking around now. You're going to try and get as many runs as possible. They will be looking to get at least another 80-90 runs. This is the edge that everybody appealing, everybody saying how's that, but they lost their reviews, remember? They lost 3 reviews, so they couldn't review this one.
That's why the game awareness is so very important. Had there been a review left, you never know. Butler might have just walked off, knowing fully well that India will review that. Because since India don't have any more reviews left, he stood his ground.
Yeah, lost all their reviews. Point where England still had 6 wickets in hand. Maybe a couple of them still all right, but that caught behind review was a little iffy. Went off the thigh, rather off the forearm. Everyone beaten there. Batsman, keeper. 5 or 6 for 6.
अगर ये ना बारिश में हाथ पे लगा नहीं ये कैसे कर देता हूँ मैं कुछ तो मार दो बॉल रुकना चाहिए भैया चौका जाएगा नहीं तो सीधा ही है आपको मजाक लग रहा है भैया ऐसे ही होता है
Well, this session so far, 19 overs have been bowled.
ले बैट थ्रो
Using his feet well there. Hit a boundary last over.
Talking about DRS, it goes in favor of the umpires. I mean, it's an umpire's call in the end. You just get the review retained at its best, but it's the umpire's call. Unless it's a really, really bad decision by the umpire, you go for the DRS. Otherwise, you know, most times it goes in the favor of the umpires. And India took 2 of those within a matter of 8 deliveries and lost both.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया वाले भी यहाँ से ना बैट्समैन निकलता साइड
Would be thinking about it now. It's too late. It's Rohit Sharma there. Short leg. He's been standing there all of this session. Short leg. Giving a break to the youngster, Shubman Gill.
How to go for the DRS is such an important thing. The wicketkeeper has a key role to play, particularly if it's a question of LBW. And Rishabh Pant's been brilliant this time around. He's been saying the ball's going to go over the top or going down the leg side.
Went very fine between the keeper and leg slip. Virat standing there was fast and fine. Not really an opportunity.
But the way Virat is standing with his hands on his knees, he's going to take extraordinary reflexes to be able to get to that. And maybe you know, this kind of a catch yesterday in the first session would have been possible because you know you're that much more alert, that much more fresh. But after 5.5 sessions, everybody's tired, mentally as well as physically. It's 511 for 6.
The second new ball was actually available after 162. Third new ball, beg your pardon, the third new ball. They still haven't taken it. If the right move.
The spinners are getting some turn. They're not making life easy for the batsman, and therefore one can understand the reluctance to take the new ball. Also, the bowlers Ishant and Bumrah would be just a little bit more tired. 23 overs bowled by Ishant, 29 by Bumrah. Ishant, of course, hasn't played for a while, so it's not going to be easy. It's been a tough time for the Indian fielders and the bowlers. It's been a good wicket to bat on. Occasional ball has been turning. That'll be another boundary.
I haven't seen too many runs through long off or mid off and mid on. Another quicker delivery, staying in line. Playing with soft hands close to the body. Best will take the boundary. No field set there on the leg side. Again, coming to the DRS, is it to help the umpires or is it to help make the correct decision. Another boundary. To err is human. Like a bowler can bowl a bad ball and get away, hit for a boundary. Umpires are bound to make mistakes. DRS should be a technology where you can correct the umpire's mistake.
I think it's a tool to help the umpire make the right decision.
I think you'll have to see it in a different way, because if it's going to hit the outside part of the stump, the stump to stump width is 9 inches. You take half an inch away from this side and half an inch away from that side. It's 8 inches. You're reducing the target even further. You saw the dismissal of Steve Smith recently in Australia, where the ball just clipped the leg stump and the bail fell off. I, for one, firmly believe it should help make the correct decision and not go in favor of the umpires.
I don't think that's an argument, is it? I mean, they're not mutually exclusive, helping the umpire and making the right decision. The idea is to get the right decision.
No, it's my personal opinion. My personal opinion. Should be a tool to make the correct decision. Then say umpire's call.
Another no ball. 6th for Nadeem and 16th for India.
And this no ball is something that Nadeem has to work on, because for a spinner, it is really hard to explain why he should be bowling no balls.
Yeah, 16 of them. 6 from Nadeem for spinner. Actually, haven't seen even Ashwin bowling too many, but he's bowled a no ball this innings. .521 for 6. Well, 78.3. It's 0.3 from yesterday's game. Carried forward 78.3 overs bowled so far. It's been another fantastic day for England. They won the toss and capitalized on batting surface, which you have here. Really good one. A little on the slower side, but most of them, especially Joe Root and Ben Stokes, look extremely good. Tom Sibley as well, very comfortable. A lot finer now, Virat. Leg slip. After that, half an opportunity or maybe a quarter opportunity. Last over of Washington. Oh, that's well bowled.
Virat Kohli, we saw hands on his knees. Ian Botham at his very best would do that in second slip and take blinders. Amazing slip catcher, Ian Botham.
He'd also stand a lot closer to the bat, Ian Botham. That's why he was able to take some amazing catches. Second slip, mainly at second slip for the new ball bowlers, and stand a lot ahead of the wicket keeper. Not in line with the wicket keeper, in fact a couple of paces ahead of the wicket keeper, and that's why he would take some absolute unbelievable catches, because the deliveries would be coming to him at great speed. With that kind of a stance, it's difficult to take the low catches. Very difficult. You'll probably catch one in maybe half a dozen or so. 521 for 6.
especially in India where the ball doesn't bounce too much. Got to be on the lower side. Pitches where there is more bounce, you can expect catches. The chest tight.
Change in bowling. Got Ishant Sharma back in the attack. Is he going to take the new ball now? Still hasn't. I want to try a few more deliveries with this older one and check if it's reversing. He's trying to get that shine, trying to get one side of that ball a little heavier than the other. That much more difficult with this new saliva ban. No saliva allowed now, it's only sweat. Well spread out field though. 4 on the onside with a shot mid-wicket. Still have a slip and a gully. This is Ishant's 24th over. Whoa, under edge will beat Rishabh Pant. Go all the way to the boundary. Streaky one, but 4 nonetheless.
What England will be looking to do, 11 overs left for the day. Try and get as many runs as possible in these 11 overs. If they can get 40 or 50 runs, 4 runs and over, then they'll get to about 560. 560, 565. They'll be pretty happy with that. Maybe bat for a bit tomorrow, get to 600 if they can. That'll be their target, to get to at least 600. And India need to try and get them out earlier than that.
Oh, beautifully bowled. Finally gets the reward that he deserves. Has bowled beautifully right through this innings. And after 23 overs, he gets the wicket.
Excellent delivery. We saw earlier he was starting it from the stumps and missing leg. This one started from outside the line of off stump. A coach's dream, hitting the top of off stump. The right line and the right length. Butler gone for 30. It's 525 for 7.
Center. Middle alive. Same out, Jofra. Let's leg. Thank you.
New batter in is Jofra Archer. Can hit a long ball. Just his 12th test match.
The ball has come back in slightly. Butler failed to cover up with his back pad. He left just that little bit of room for the ball to come back in. Ball in, first ball. Wicket number 299 for Ishant Sharma. Did this one keep low? Or was Jofra Archer just late coming down on the ball?
I think kept a little low, fuller in length. And a little bit of swing as well. First delivery was too good for Archer. So picks up 2 and 2. Ishant Sharma. He'll be on a hat-trick. England 525 for 8.
It's Jack Leach trying to prevent Ishant Sharma from picking up his hat-trick and also his 300th test wicket. His 13th test match, Jack Leach. You all would remember his heroic one that he scored, unbeaten. That winning effort.
This is a good ball again. It hasn't kept low. It's hit the top of the off stump. You can see, yes, it's hit the top of the off stump. So you can't say that the ball kept low. If you're a tall batsman, maybe you'll think that the ball kept low. But anything hitting the top of the off stump, it hasn't kept low.
On hat-trick, Ishant. And on 299, going round the wicket to the left-handed Jack Leach. A shot covers, 2 shot mid-wicket, slip and a gully. Can he get it? Ishant Sharma. Whoa. Hurry Jack Leach surely. But he'll get off the mark outside half of the bat.
Two wickets and 2 balls. First Butler, that was duty. A similar delivery. Castle Jofra Archer with the ball reversing. Last delivery was a no ball.
Well, it's a no ball. No ball number 17. Have to re-bowl that one, but that does not mean he's on hat-trick anymore. He's not, as I've been corrected, I've been told. Has to be 3 in 3.
It's quite interesting about this hat trick because I think if you've taken 2 wickets in the first innings and then you bowl your first ball in the next innings and you get a wicket, it is a hat trick, which I find very difficult, because if somebody, for example, is 72 not out in the first innings and then he goes and scores 28 in the second innings, why should it not be called 100? It could be 25 not out in the first innings, 24, 25 not out, he could be whatever. But he continues to bat in the next innings and he gets those 60, 80 runs and he gets 100. Why is it not called 100? If what happens in the first innings as far as bowling is concerned and you get a wicket off your first ball is considered a hat-trick, it should be in the same innings. You can say it is of consecutive deliveries, but it doesn't matter. It's got to be in the same innings.
Yeah, true. It has to be the same innings. According to me too. Would agree more. But what an effort this has been from Ishant. Last time he played red ball game was way back in February 2020. The first test match against New Zealand. Got a 5 for there. Was out because of injury. Didn't go to Australia. Wasn't really fully fit. It's 98th test match, Ishant Sharma. Actually, New Zealand he got a 5-er, and the test match before that against Bangladesh, the one-off pink ball test, got a 5-er there as well. It's bowled well here. It's getting rewarded. Outside edge didn't carry. Wonderful over from Ishant comes to an end. It's 528 for 8.
And going wide of the crease, getting the ball to leave. Leach, just short of Rohit Sharma. Very good over that from Ishant Sharma, 2 for 48 in his 24.
Just a few quick wickets for India, and they needed it. Just falling short, an edge, thick edge of the bat of Jack Leach. And there's been a good spell from Ishant Sharma. And that's been the problem. The wicket, the easy paced wicket, the balls haven't carried. Everything has gone low and died towards those fielders in the slip cordon. It's been a hard yak for all these bowlers. 170 overs in the field, and that too hot and humid conditions of Chennai. Never easy. Ajit alongside me. Ajit, happy with what India has done so far?
I think it was always somehow trying to get Joe Root out, isn't it? It's been such an impressive innings, and once that happened, you could see every batsman walking in hasn't found it as easy. And then Ishant getting those 2 wickets at the moment. Last over with a little bit of reverse swing. Still a massive score that England has got to.
Washington Sundar has bowled well as well. Should have got that wicket. Found the edge of Josh Butler. Good catch from Rishabh Pant. And again, one which seemed as if it would spin. Just continuing on with the arm.
It's amazing, after 170 overs, suddenly feels batting's difficult. I know it's the lower order. Once England lost Joe Root and Ollie Pope, it's not been easy.
Yeah, it's been an excellent session, hasn't it? Really good, because India have had to show an enormous amount of resilience and stamina to hang in there. And they've been rewarded with wickets falling at regular intervals, from the dismissal of Pope on 473, Root shortly after on 477, and then Butler and Archer both on 525. Interestingly enough, the first 2 wickets to fall also fell on the same score. It sort of backs up that theory that you get 1, you get 2. The difficulty's been getting 1.
Come on, Machi.
And I mean, yes, England might. Joe Root did say he wants to get 600, but I don't think England would be too disappointed with where they are at this point. 530 in the first innings. Even on a slow pitch, that is starting to assist the bowlers a little bit more. England will be quite happy with where they are at this point.
Shabash.
End of the over, it's 530 for 8. Chris Silverwood on your screens, the head coach of the England cricket team. Definitely must be a happy man with what England have achieved. 530 for 8, very good total. My former teammate at Middlesex, former county for Ajit Agarkar as well. He's bowled well. He's bowled well. An appeal from the slip cordon, a late appeal from Rishabh Pant.
Well, nothing from Ishant at all. Ishant has been superb. He really has. He's picked up the reward for being unbelievably consistent throughout this mammoth England innings. But he didn't think there was anything happening here.
Yeah, there looked to be daylight between that. I don't think Rishabh Pant went up immediately either. The slips did, and then he almost joined in.
There was a slight noise from the stump mic, but I think the timing didn't quite match up with the ball going past the bat.
So you're right, both. It's been a really good spell from him. It's toiled away since yesterday. Been economical. Just starting to look better the more he's bowled. Probably a little bit of error in judgment, but the ball, again, a good ball. And this one, just the ideal ball to any new batsman. Talk about reverse swing, and a lot of bowlers try and go full first ball, but that length ball can be just as hard.
He's really worn a hole in a good length, whether bowling over the wicket to right-handers or round the wicket to left. His length has been immaculate throughout this innings, picking up late rewards against the tail and lower order.
And that's one of the reasons why he's been a different bowler the last couple of years. The length has gone up a bit further, and also I think his own assessment of himself and what he can do, because when he came onto the side or came into the team, it was always as a stock bowler. He had to bowl the number of overs, so your lengths change, your thinking, your thought process changes. But I think over the years, as he's played more, imagine 98 games as a fast bowler. That's a lot of games. And it's not as if Ishant Sharma is an old man.
Was he considered a tearaway when he first came in? I don't ever remember watching him be this metronomic in terms of line and length before.
All I would say is he was always seen as somebody who was a natural hit the deck bowler, but his length was always back of a length and who could bowl more overs. And I think that was something which was seen as an asset in the Indian team. I think Ajit can shed a lot more light on it.
I think, although when he came on the scene, he certainly was a lot quicker. I think everyone remembers him bowling that spell to Ricky Ponting in Australia, and those are the sort of things that stay in your mind, because certainly troubled Ricky through that spell and bowled that extra over to get him out. And then slowly, as the years have gone through, his role in the team changed a bit. Zahir Khan was the strike bowler. He bowled a lot of overs, like Karthik said. Not as quick as when he started, but with his extra height, always got that extra bounce. It was the length that has changed over the last few years, that has become a lot fuller, which has obviously got him more rewards.
And also, Ajit, would you say that his wrist position, which he has been working on, has changed? Because he has worked on it, isn't it? Or if you look at it now, it's a lot different to what it was when he came into the team.
I mean, you see those numbers, that tells you the story. Yeah, the wrist position, I always felt that, said it in the morning as well, he doesn't play as much white ball cricket. He's a lot fresher when he comes to, or plays any sort of test series. So at the crease, he's a lot stronger, he's a lot more upright, and automatically the hand's a lot straighter, doesn't fall away as much.
.530 for it.
भाई घर भी जाना आ जाओ.
A strong looking scorecard for England, courtesy a double 100 from their captain Joe Root, 218. Sibley batted well for his 87. Stokes a stroke filled 82 from him. Pope and Butler laboured their way to 34. Can't say the same for Josh Butler. And for me, Jofra Archer spent a lot of time just behind us in the nets, only for a first bowler.
Oh, it's a great game, isn't it, cricket? Great game. Wait 2 days for a bat and then you get knocked over first ball. Different game for these young spinners bowling at the lower order of England than Joe Root.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, you've got to admire India though. They've stuck to it. It's been hard work for them. Yes, England has targeted Washington Sundar and Nadeem a little bit. But apart from that, don't remember too many spells where there's been bad bowling. The batting's just been really good from Joe Root in particular, and contributions around him.
My Hindi's a little bit rusty, but I reckon that Don Bess is copping a bit out there at the moment.
He's copying it in our language. I don't know if he can understand, but that's where I think Rishabh Pant has been brilliant. I think he's kept the spirits up. He's been hilarious. He's been entertaining. I think for everyone who can understand the language, he's been right up there.
Are you going to translate for us, or what? For the folks back in the UK?
We need to commentate. If we start resorting to translating what Rishabh Pant is going to do, then someone else will have to do our jobs, Mark. We might have to start a Rishabh channel then.
I'll take that as a no then.
He has been entertaining though, throughout the day yesterday and most of the day today.
.531 for 8. The second day, and the way the sessions have panned out, the first session 29.3 overs, 92 runs, 28 overs, 99 runs for 1 wicket. Both of them, you have to say, were England sessions. The third session's been a bit of a comeback from India. Yes, the score might be 531, but it's about limiting the damage. It's about not allowing England to get away with it. They've got 4 wickets and given away 77 runs. Also, that run rate has fallen as well.
Maybe that last session is perhaps a sign of things to come. We'll have to wait and see when England bowl. Certainly seemed to be doing a little bit more than what it did when Joe Root was batting.
Yeah, I think that's why England are keen just to stay out there. The longer they stay out there, the more tricks the pitch might play. Speaking of the pitch, let's have a look at where Ishant has operated to the right-handed batsman of England. I mean, that is just such a good grouping. Bearing in mind that most of the time that ball had been tailing back in, so he has to start the ball on the right line outside off stump in order to hit off stump. It's been a really impressive performance on a very, very flat surface for the quicks.
And I'm pretty sure, and it must be safe to say that Ishant Sharma of the 4, the percentage of number of deliveries would be on the shorter side, Ajit, or slightly short, just before the good length.
Yeah, possibly. I think in India you can still get away with it a little bit because it doesn't bounce as much, so the batsman can't leave the ball as much. It does skid through. This pitch perhaps hasn't done that as much, but the 2 wicket balls you see, those are on good lengths. I think those, especially in India when it is reverse swing, because the lack of pace, perhaps he hasn't got as much reward as he would have otherwise because the bowling's been really good. You can see the 2 pulsating balls, the white balls where the wickets are. Those are generally the balls that get you wickets in India. Yes, you can bowl a great Yorker and bowl somebody out, but these 2 balls, I mean, that's an ideal ball for a... Yes, it's a lower order player, but any new batsman. Even Bumrah yesterday, the LBW that he got, that's the length.
Yeah, it's a great lesson actually in how to be patient and how to work yourself opportunities with the reverse swinging ball. Everybody thinks reverse swing, oh, you've got to run up and bowl, hit the batsman on the foot or get it really full. But actually, get it to a place where it might bounce and make things very uncomfortable. Keeping the stumps in play is absolutely the way to go. Ishant has bowled superbly, he really has. Rishabh just making sure that Dom Bess is okay.
First wicket, Rory Burns trying to reverse sweep one from Ravichandran Ashwin. Then this one, an absolute peach of a delivery from Jasprit Bumrah. End of the day's play, Tom Sibley got a similar one. And then the first one to go was Stokes. Swung one, Cheteshwar Pujara, juggling act. And then it might seem as if the ball kept straight, but he was deceived. Ollie Pope, Root trying to play across one, was caught in front on the review. Error of judgment from Josh Butler, and then beaten for pace. Came in sharply, Jofra Archer.
Yeah, tries to go full this time. That's what can happen sometimes. When you go full, you don't get it quite right. It's a little bit easier for the batsman to negotiate. Was down the leg. Still looks uncomfortable. Yeah, way down the leg. But you can see what he's trying to do.
Yeah, perhaps getting a little bit impatient because he asked the captain for one more at the end of his previous over. He knows he's on 299 wickets. He feels he's got a big chance with England's tail in, though Dom Bess can handle himself with the bat. And he might think he's got 2 deliveries left to try and get to that magical 300 mark before the close tonight.
Yeah, nearly there.
Yeah, I mean, that's, again, similar to what Josh Butler did. You know, almost stayed on middle stump and tried to leave it. Was a bit fuller, this one. Did tail in late.
It's the perfect length, isn't it? Because if the ball bounces normally, it's kind of going to hit the top of off stump. If it stays down a little bit, you're still in business. It's just such a good length when the ball's reverse swinging. The batsman has a decision to make. And if, like Josh Butler, he makes the wrong one, timber.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think the idea has got to be try and hit the knee roll of a batsman. And with every pitch, your length changes what that length is likely to be.
Again an appeal. Leg by is definitely the signal, but Nitin Menon didn't think it was going to hit the stumps. 5:36 for 8. Last ball of the previous over. Again, tailing in sharply, trying to flick it. Umpire's call it would have been if umpire Nitin Menon had decided to uphold the appeal. In the air, oh, and it was dropped. Rohit Sharma, of all the people, one of the safest hands in Indian cricket, drops a sitter.
Oh no. It's an absolute dolly. Don Bess, I think, hits the ground. Just chips it in there. Oh my goodness me. Wonder if he got his hands in front of his eyes.
Have to feel for Washington Sundar. Gets Josh Butler, nicks him off. Umpire doesn't uphold the appeal, and now an absolute dolly. Rohit Sharma can't believe it. Nobody can. Yep.
There's some great reactions there. It's almost so easy that he wanted to take that and quickly walk off and get his pads on.
Well, they still had another wicket to take. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that he put his hands up in front of his eye and then just obscured his own vision. I mean, it's inexplicable that you would drop a catch like that. It really is. John Bess hits the ground, little drop kick, and just... Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to feel for Washington Sundar. He's toiled away 25th over without a wicket. Coming off a great test match in Australia. .537 for 8.
.537 for 8, and all you can do is smile. Washington Sundar, much better effort today. Known for his consistency and accuracy, didn't find that. Has found a better rhythm bowling today, Washington Sundar. And you can see, got one edge of Josh Butler, bowled much better compared to yesterday.
No run.
Seems like Ishant Sharma asked for more than one.
Yeah, and deserves it. Have a look at that catch again. Won't get too many simpler catches in international cricket than that. You could see how disappointed Washington Sundar was. There's a quiet smirk. I think every fielder wants to make sure he's not the one that happens to.
I wonder if they'll remind Rohit of that when he comes out to open the batting at some point.
Yeah, you have to see the funny side of it and have a laugh at your own self. But I'm pretty sure, I think something to what you said, he just completely blinded himself by getting his hands in front of his eyes.
I think from his gesture, what he's saying is it almost dipped on him a little bit. But
that is also a potential explanation because of the way that Bess hit the ball with that sort of the drop kick motion of hitting the ground first. There may have been a little bit of time. I mean, we're trying to find any excuse we can. I mean, it's horrendous. What a thing to do to a young bowler after 175 overs in the field with no wickets.
And yes, catches or drop catches or misfields are part and parcel of this game, but India in recent times have had a few fair drops, especially in Australia as well. Don't want to try and minimize those sorts of mistakes.
Sridhar, the fielding coach. And sometimes you wonder that every time there's a drop catch, it's the fielding coach who becomes the topic of discussion, or cynosure of all eyes. Oh, good delivery. Very good delivery.
Problem is, the fielding coach doesn't make you practice those ones, does he? Why would you stand in front of somebody and lob it at 10 miles an hour, head high? That's not the sort of practice you do on a daily basis. I'm glad Rohit can see the funny side. I'm not sure I'd be seeing the funny side.
I don't think Washington Sundar is either.
I mean, fair enough. You know, nobody means to drop a catch, but I think he might be a little bit less demonstrative about it, or how amusing he's finding it.
Down the leg. And reaches the boundary as well. So a boundary to Dom Bess.
You can see the desperation at the moment. He's bowled a really good spell, got those 2 wickets, is on 299 test wickets. Ball still reversing, a little bit desperate. I think he needs to go back to how he got those 2 wickets. Tried to go full, which is not a bad idea, just got the direction wrong.
Yeah, frustration building for the skipper. He's not had very many balls at Jack Leach either, has he, Ishant? Bowled everything at Dom Bess, who, as I've said, can handle himself. He's a tenacious little character with bat and ball.
A leg slip in place now. 541 for it. Fair bit of bowling from all the bowlers, the fast bowlers bowling 27 and 29, Ashwin 49, Nadeem 44, Washington Sundar 25. Wicketless overs. Rohit Sharma rolled his arm over as well for a couple of overs. It's been a bit of fielding, a bit of bowling. Ishant Sharma just walked off the field. Four overs left today.
It's been another long, hard day for India. I think Stokes' innings, those little partnerships that England's had, has put them in a really good position.
Oh, uses his feet. Over mid-off. Has it gone all the way? No.
Well, I never. Jack Leach is now stepping out and taking on the man at mid-off. Doesn't make a bad job of it either. Quite out of the middle of the bat, but had enough forward momentum to get it up and over and away for a boundary.
Did hit a little bit high on the bat, but enough there. just hits a boundary over mid-off and then just comfortably defends the rest.
Yeah, we've seen him in defensive mode famously in that test match at Headingley. He scored the best one not out that anyone's ever seen in England.
Well defended, 545 for 8. Bumrah will bowl a couple of overs, 3 overs left. Ishant Sharma bowled really nicely. He got 2 wickets in that spell. Bumrah himself has got 2, the ball tailing in. It'll be interesting. Just 2 overs for Jack Leach and Dom Best to negotiate.
That's off. Off some. That's ender.
Yeah, the first one was Dan Lawrence. Came in very sharply, got him in front, and then Dom Sibley. Yorker wrapped him on the pads as day 1 was about to finish yesterday. Hasn't gotten a wicket today, but things can change quickly. He can go bang bang because he's such a fine bowler, especially against the tail. And with the ball reversing now, it'll be interesting to see the tactics he uses. Beats Ajinkya and gets to the boundary. So boundary to start this new spell of Jasprit Bumrah.
Yeah, you won't give it away, Dom Bess. Averages 27, 28 with the bat in Test match cricket. As I've said before, he scraps away, absolutely loves being in the contest, whether that's with bat and ball. And he'll just keep chiseling away, making sure that England have as many runs as possible in the bank before they get a chance to bowl on this increasingly worn pitch.
Yeah, that we haven't seen too many times that Bumrah's given room. Instead of that one, he tried to take the ball away from the right-hander.
Wonderful shots of the Marina Beach, not too far from here. Mark Butcher's throw is getting us there.
You've got to be kidding. I don't think I could reach the stands from here. And those are the ones in front of us. It's the longest beach in the world, isn't it, Marina Beach?
Yeah, it is.
Bay of Bengal.
England's almost got 100 runs this session in spite of those 4 wickets. It's a nice little contribution from Bess.
Yeah, Ishan got it to come in, and Jasprit Bumrah has got it to go away from the right-hander. It started off with a boundary. You're talking about India, and they have to make a good chase or bat really well. 549 for 8 is what England are at the moment, and look at those averages. Rohit Sharma is phenomenal at home, an average of 45. Shubman Gill, the new young kid on the block, 51. Cheteshwar Pujara, you know he's not going to give it away. Virat Kohli averages around 54.
One thing interesting about looking at those numbers is that England 500, nearly 550, but only Joe Root in this 11 averaged above 40 for England. And of course, you look at India's career averages, and they're all in the 40s and above, all the way down to Ashwin at where's he, number 8, 27 for him, but everybody else. So you've got to be thinking that if this pitch plays exactly the same, that India are going to put some runs out there as well.
Tries the Yorker, just didn't get anything out of it. 549 for 8. There are 2 overs left. Ashwin hasn't bowled for a while. Bowled 49 overs in this innings so far.
Bowling change, right on the run.
25 overs today for Ravichandran Ashwin, 24 to Shahbaz Nadeem. It's been economical on a surface which hasn't had too much in terms of pace and bounce.
Well, poor old Washington Sundar might not get the chance to take a wicket in this innings. One thing's for sure, and we had a debate perhaps at the beginning of the session about what England might do. My feeling was that they'd try and bat out the session. Obviously they weren't planning on losing 4 wickets. Just try and grind out as many runs as they possibly could. Perhaps put a heavy roller on the pitch tomorrow, see if it'll break up another day under the burning hot sun. Let's give themselves every chance of being able to put India's batting lineup, very good batting lineup that it is, under maximum pressure.
Yeah, and in spite of those 4 wickets, they've managed to add 95. These, what, 32nd over this session now. So they'd be very happy.
That was the carom ball from outside the off stump. Expansive drive from Jack Leach. Good take behind by Rishabh Pant.
Is that no ball number 18?
But 550 up for England with that no ball. That was a big one.
What about this no ball klaxon anyway? Are we fans of that? The alarm going off whenever there's a no ball? Novel. He's got that going all of a sudden, hasn't he, the carom ball? 2 deliveries have both spun sharply back into the left-hander.
Probably hit one of the rough areas. Maybe even missed it, but it's a little bit of spin.
End of the over, it's 550 for it. .550 for 8, and it seems as if Tom Bess has taken it upon himself that he's going to play against the seamers, because every time Jack Leach was batting, he was fishing outside the off stump, and he hasn't batted against any of the seamers in the last 4 overs.
Yeah, I wondered if India might just set the field back and offer him a single, try and get Leach up that end.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised they didn't try this over the last couple of overs. Shant ended up bowling his last 2 overs to Bess as well. He's batted, what, 78 balls now, so clearly has an idea of what's happening out there. Yeah, Bumrah's toiled hard. It's the first time he's playing a test match in India.
No, run, no, stay there, stay there.
He's bowled well. 31st over, another no ball for India. That's it, 19. That's his 6th no ball. Bumrah, only some tired legs out there at this point, but in general, that's just way too many no balls for India.
Again down the leg, off the pads, goes to the boundary, leg buys. Definitely him turning down that single is a clear indication that he wants to hog the strike against the seamers, Butch.
Yeah, Jack Leach was backing up a long way, but Best was not interested. Just getting the line a little bit wrong. I mean, when you're tired, the last thing you want to be doing is bowling extra deliveries in the over. These no balls, I mean, it's astonishing, isn't it? The amount of no balls that we've seen in this innings. I wonder how many have gone begging over the years with the umpires on the field.
Imagine the number of times you might have been dismissed of such deliveries, Mark.
I'm sure it was such a regular occurrence. Could add another 15 runs to my average.
Thank God there are 2 bowlers sitting here with you.
Well, I'd consider myself part of your fraternity as well.
Why do you say that?
I got a couple of forfers in Test cricket.
Good delivery. Definitely batted well, Dom Bess, taking away that missed opportunity when he was on 19. He's managed to keep away Ishant Sharma. He's managed to keep away these tailing deliveries from Jasprit Bumrah. Couple of deliveries left for end of day 2.
Just comfortable. It's Bumrah's bowled his heart out. It's been one of those pitches where it is going to be difficult, but he's tried as well as he can. 1 ball left in the day. England 5-5-5 for 8 at the moment.
Safely negotiated, and that should be the end of day 2. England, very strong position, 555 for the loss of 8 wickets. They'd lost a couple yesterday. Jasprit Bumrah with a couple of wickets, Washington Sundar wicketless, Ashwin with a couple of wickets too.
It's been an incredibly tough day for the Indian bowlers and fielders. 180 overs in the legs. 4 wickets though represents an excellent return at the end of a very tough day under the blazing sun here in Chennai. 1 or 2 errors, 1 or 2 missed chances earlier on in the piece, and things may well have been different for Virat Kohli and his men. But at the end of day 2, England more than happy to be 555 for 8, and once again they have their captain to thank. A quite sensational 218 from 377 deliveries of concentration, skill and timing. Virat Kohli can still have a smile on his face at the end of the day, but he knows that he's in a contest, and he knows that England are here to battle and to fight, and they will have to do the same with the bat at some point tomorrow.
A fruitful day yet again for the English batters. Joe Root continuing from where he left off yesterday. Had a new batting partner in Ben Stokes, who took it upon himself that he would do the bulk of the scoring. And good contributions from Ollie Pope and Butler as well. Dom Bess undefeated on 28. Jack Leach sticky as ever, 6 of 28. Jimmy Anderson, last man yet to come. So it's been a tough day, hard day for the Indian bowlers. England would be very happy with their effort. The partnerships, the first one worth 63 between Root and Sibley, the biggest one 200, and then Root and Stokes 124. Again a handy partnership between Root and Pope 86, Bess and Butler 48, and now this is the unseparated partnership between Bess and Leach, which is worth 30 of 66 deliveries. 5 bowlers used, and as we have said again and again, Ishant, Bumrah done a lot of bowling. It's been tough. 2 wickets apiece to them. Ashwin 50 overs, 2 for 132. Nadeem 2 for 167 of 44. Sundar, the only frontline bowler who's gone wicketless. That's where it stands. 555 for 8. One of the heroes of day 2 batting for England, Ben Stokes, joins us. Ben, really well played. The first thing which I would like to ask you is that 6 of Ravichandran Ashwin, possibly of the 10th or the 12th delivery you faced. Can you talk us through that? It seemed like an extension of your defence.
Yeah, I think it was just sort of more a bit of, I don't know, instinct, I guess. You know, it's something I've been working on, just sort of, you know, making sure I'm either getting right down the wicket or getting right back. And, you know, I think when you practice something for a, you know, prolonged period of time, it sort of can just happen without really thinking out in the middle. And, you know, that was probably a case of that today.
Your attacking instincts, when do they kick in, even in test matches? Because out here, we were with Nick Knight and Mark Butcher, and they're just saying that you're spending a lot more time or taking more time in the bat. But I think somewhere down the line, those attacking instincts kick in.
Yeah, I think today, initially, you know, it was typical sort of subcontinent wicket. But then as soon as Nadeem, you sort of got a few to kick out of that rough, you know, turn and bounce at me. I sort of just had to make a decision as an individual, and I said, I thought I'd rather get caught at deep square, you know, trying to take the attack back to him than caught short leg, being a little bit timid, and you know, sort of playing a bit more defensive. I made myself feel better by doing that, by making sure it was all right with Joe, and he said yeah, so that was all right.
I think you've got a great partner in Joe Root, who made batting look ridiculously easy, wasn't it?
He does, yeah. He, you know, it's a bit sort of frightening when you sit at the other end when he's playing like that, and how easy he makes the game look. We were actually talking, and Joss was saying before, you don't realise how good your teammates are until you play against them, sort of in like a team environment, because they played against each other in Sri Lanka, and Joss was on the other side to Rooty, and you know, at the moment he's in incredible form, and to play the way he has done out in such tough conditions, you know, so alien to us as England batsmen, is incredible. And geez, it's frightening what he's doing at the moment.
You mentioned that you would rather get caught in the deep, but you might be kicking yourself for getting out 18 short of 100.
No, I don't know. It's always annoying getting out. I don't really think of it like that. Probably just could have taken a slightly better option, but you know, still looking to be in that attacking mindset. You know, looking back on it, I probably would have tried to hit that a bit straighter.
How's the wicket played today on day 2?
I think there's obviously a bit in it, you know, a lot more in it for the spinners than the seamers, but you know, I've got to give a lot of credit to Ishant and you know, Bumrah, the way that they run in. Got a lot of respect for that, you know, and something that we're going to have to do as a seamers unit. Just toil and toil away, and then hopefully the spinners can pick the wickets up. But I think it's going to sort of break up. You know, we've seen a few balls kick it and spin out of the rough, so you know, it's really pleasing to win the toss and, you know, put this first innings total on the board, and hopefully we can bat for another hour tomorrow.
Thanks for your time, Ben, and really well played.
Thank you.
Take
Cheers.
care.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, finally a session to India. 4 red ones after winning the first session on day 1, and then because they got 4 wickets and managed to keep the lid on the England batting in the last session going India's way. Yep, it's been difficult for the Indian bowlers. Ravichandran Ashwin tried gamely. Oh, this was interesting. That passage of play before Ollie Pope was undone by Ravichandran Ashwin.
Yeah, the Indian bowlers toiled all day and got a little bit more reward in this last session. Joe Root finally missing one after a brilliant double 100. Butler playing a few shots, making use of anything that was short, off stump. Huge appeal at 1 point, which India didn't have any reviews left at that stage because they'd used up all of them. Josh Butler had another cameo. England kept adding the runs in this last session, just adding to that big total. Just there with Best adding another good partnership with him, and then Ishant Sharma coming into the attack. A little bit of reverse swing, getting the length right, and 2 wickets in 2 balls. It was on a hat trick at that point. Almost got the wicket of the next ball, just kept toiling away. There was a little bit of reverse swing again, a peel. England kept adding a run, and Rohit Sharma dropping another sitter towards the end of that day. You could see the Indian bowlers, especially the experienced one, toiling away. Bumrah bowled his heart out all day, but at the end of the day, England in a really strong position at 555 for 8.
They can dictate terms once you go past 500 in a test match, and the 3 sessions. 29 overs in the first, 28 overs in the second, and 33, nearly 92, 99 and 101 runs respectively. So the scoring was quick, was brisk, and they just kept piling on the misery on the Indian bowlers. 292 runs being scored today. But we'll be back with you for day 3, which is tomorrow at 9:20 AM Indian Standard Time, live from the M. H. Chidambaram Stadium here in Chennai. Thanks for joining us.